So we're here today to talk about the Ronde Van Vlaanderen, or as the rest of the world knows it as Flanders. So we're gonna get into this. Let me just need to do a health check on the wrong channel, not that channel. Just do that one so quickly. What? There we go. So just gonna just do a health check and make sure everything is good. There we go. So the audio is good. Always got to check the audio, people. Always got to check. Always check your audio. And just make sure things are going good. Let's see. And now we want to share that from where? Where you want to share it from? Where'd you come want to share it from? That's that one. Let's go to here. To YouTube. And turn that down. Then, so we got some news about Benny as well too. Benny's going to experience something for the first time. We only need to. So when you're going from your computer to the mobile device, it's just so confusing. Like you got to remember where all of the relevant things are to switch things around. But yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about who the favorites are for Flanders. I'm just getting something squared away real quickly. Just need to just do a health check and make sure everything is going well. And then I just need to share this with my Facebook. So if you can share the live for me, and don't forget to give us a like. Give us a like, people. Makes the world go round. Before I get into this, my goodness. So when you go from your iPad to the desktop, then you see Paxel Players. How you doing, man? So we're gonna get into this. This is going to be Flanders is going to be off the hook, man. It's just going to be so exciting. Now I have Benny down as one of the favorites. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about Benny because he's done Ghent. He's done Dwars that the Dwars Van Vlaanderen the other day. He wasn't far behind, so it's like the form is coming, and I don't personally think he's in there with a shot to win, but there's 8 riders in the thumbnail, and I do think he has a good chance to be within those 8 riders. He was following a lot on Wednesday. That was yesterday. Yesterday he was following a lot. He was following the moves. He even went to the front for once or twice to try to chase back, and to me that was a good sign. I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, if you are one of the top dogs in the peloton, you don't always wait or rely on your team. Sometimes you gotta stick it to your competition. Sometimes you gotta go out there and just get right into it, and not wait for everybody or someone to pull you back. But as it got later into the race, you can see Benny was pretty much just hanging on, and so he was looking for that. But I do see the progress and the improvement, and I'm definitely looking forward to what's to come from Benny for the future. So the other big announcement, I'm going to do a complete video on it. Benny's going to be doing Paris-Roubaix. What I think about that, we could get into that on another video. So Benny Gourmet, he is, of my 8, I would put him 8th. So the odds are, probably higher than 8 to 1. But I mean, of the guys that I have selected. So my next ride I have is Matteo Jorgensen, who was not happy with what happened yesterday. I wouldn't have been happy yesterday either because he put in a lot of work and he worked hard. And yeah, Walt should have delivered. But I think they, you played. I mean, even though they tried it against Standard, I don't know how many years ago. How many years ago? Uh, I think it was Saxo. They tried it against Standard, and he still won. But the odds were better if you try to run the men down. It doesn't happen that often. It's a phenomenon, but it is what it is. Matteo Jorgensen was looking really good, and it's a shame that he wasn't able to do the double and go back to back because he won last year, and then he wasn't able to repeat this year. That sucks. And even though Walt Bernard came out and apologized for his for the way he was selfish and stuff, that's cool and all of that, but hindsight is always 2020. So that's he's so I think Matteo, because he seems to be able to get over the couple climbs pretty good, but once Poggy and Vanderpool go, you have to be there. You can't be closing the gap to these guys because that gap that gap could be the valley of death. That whatever it is, be you gotta close. So when Poggy and Pogacha and Walt Bernard move, and even Matt Peterson move, Matteo Jorgensen needs to make sure he is there and he is good and he is ready to go. I can't believe it's 7 minutes on this thing already. Then the other person, I guess I would put Binny up higher than I'll put odds on Binny for higher than Alexander Kristoff. Alexander Kristoff has 96 wins in his career, and he's looking for 97. He wants to end the season with 100 wins, so that's his goal, to get like 100 wins. So Alexander Kristoff, he's been around for a while. He's when he was younger and sprinting, he was devastating. He's I believe he's won Flanders, he's won was to Vendelen, and I think he's also won Ghent Wevelgem as well. So he knows how to win this race. So I mean, even though he's an older rider, an older sprinter, you can't count him out. So Uno X will be, doing the best to see, get him in position. But at the same time, Flanders is the type of race where the team only helps on the flat sections. Other than the flat sections, when those cobbles come, or when like things like the old Cormont, Petterberg, you're on your own. You got to ride, and you have to deliver. Flanders is a tough race. I've ridden that course. I mean, it's Flanders is hard, and where Tadej Pogacar went away from Matthew Vanderpool on the Old Cormont last year, that climb is long and it's cobbled all the way to the top, and it's relentless. And even when it flattens off at the top, just imagine you just climb like this, like probably almost a kilometer long climb, cobbled, and it's steep, and then there's no respite. You think you're on, uh, sort of levelish, flattish ground, and you get to recover, and you don't. Because the cobbles that are left before you make the turn back onto the main road, they're banging you about. The lactic acid gets kicked in. You're tired. You're exhausted, and you just want to get off those cobbles. But yeah, the old Quartermont is a beast, and I think that's where the race is going to be decided again this year. Either old Quartermont or the Pettenberg. So who's my next rider? Stefan Kuhn. It's just Stefan Kung is one of those riders you're just like willing to have a good ride. The guys, he's been around for a little while, super strong, good time trialist. I mean, he's always good with the classics, always finishing up in the top 10, top 5 or whatever. Stefan Kung is always there. And and I think he probably will again be Sunday. Um, I don't see any of these guys finishing ahead of Pogacar, unless Pogacar did something like he did it, what was it? At the race uh the Italian race. Why can't I remember the name of it? The Italian race. in man, I can't believe I can't remember the name of this race. Anyway, where he crashed, but he still won the race. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the race. Oh my goodness, I remember that. I remember it after I start talking about something else. So then the next rider is Mads Peterson. Mads Peterson, he is definitely Poggi and Matthew Vanderpool need to stay awake around Mads because Mads has the power to deliver. He can get over the. He is just an all round beast, super strong, and he's just a rider that they need to make sure they're paying attention to because if they're not paying attention, he could slip away. So really looking forward to seeing Mads Peterson. I mean, he had okayish ride yesterday in Dwars Van Vendelen. Um, it wasn't his best performance. I mean, he had a really great ride again, so he has a few more days between yesterday and Sunday, and Sunday is just going to be off the hook. So then we have Mr. Walt Van Aert. Now, Walt Van Aert, I don't know what to say or what to think about Walt because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. He's definitely not showing Walt of the past. If it's a head thing going on, he did this big block of training, and we're just assuming that he was going to come into Dwars Van Vendelen and just blow everybody away. Excuse me, sorry, but he didn't do he well he didn't blow everybody away. It was Tish Benoit and Mario Jorgensen. If it weren't for those two, then it would not have been. Yeah, yeah. So he's up on that one. Sorry, need to find. Need to just switch accounts really quickly. He's on that one. So let's switch to. There you go. So yeah, so Walt Bernard. I mean, I don't know what do people think about Walt. Do people think that Walt is going to be able to take care of the business? Do you think Walt's going to be able to take care of the business? It's going to be interesting. Thanks, Pixel Plays. He says he subbed it. Um, Send a hi to the chat. Uh, so yeah, Pixel. I don't know if you're still there, but I'll be just talking about the riders in the race and stuff. So I really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate you taking the time to um like hit the like button. So Walt Van Aert, he had a diabolical ending to yesterday. I mean, even after he gave his little speech about how he was selfish and he was thinking about himself and he desperately want to win. He wants to win. And anybody who used to compete in sports knows that feeling when you just want to. You're gonna do everything in your power to try and win. You just want to win at all costs. And you may even if you're playing football, try to get a little march on the or sneak past the linesman, like hoping he's not looking and trying to get a footstep ahead and not get called offside and stuff. So we all have our moments. We all do things that may not seem like super ethical, but it's just that competitive edge we all want to win. So, but Walt Van Aert, um. I don't know. I don't know if he has a chance at all, let alone because I don't think he's because I'll put him behind Pedersen, uh, Matthew Van Der Poel, and Tadej Pogacar. So I think those three riders are definitely stronger than Walt Van Aert. And I think it's not even the physical strength. I think like they're right here. They're stronger than Walt in the head, and it just looks like he thinks a whole lot more rather than race like he used to race. You know, he's doing a whole lot more thinking. So, and then we got, you know, who I didn't do. I didn't give you a thing, bogey, but yeah. So Matthew Vanderpool, he is um, definitely. It's going to be a battle royale between Matthew Vanderpool and Tadej Pogacar. It's going to be a battle royale. When I tell you, you wanna don't want to wait for the results or who won. It's definitely a race that you want to see, and I cannot wait to see this race between Matthew Vanderpool and Tadej Pogacar. Is Tadej Pogacar going to be able to get away on the on the Okra? Is he going to be able to get away just at all at any point in the race? So I think this young man is going to be racing as well. Let's see if I could get his picture up. Tom Pidcock. I should check to see if he is lining up. So let's look at Flanders. So I'm looking at my computer, looking at Flanders. Ronde Van Vlaanderen. So and 109th running of Ronde Van Vlaanderen. Start list. And even like on the favorites, Paycock is not in the favorites. And let's go down to Q36.5. It's that Red Bull, Arkea, movie, it's Q36.5. So no, so I need to take Paycock off the screen because Paycock's not doing. He's not doing. He's not doing. He's not doing Flanders. It's a shame because I think he would do pretty good at it. But he's got like a a lot of racing coming up. And our final rider, this guy here. So we can't see that picture, can we? You can't see his face again. So one more time. There we go. Tadej Pogacar. Definitely hands down favorite. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Tadej is going to be able to go back to back on Flanders because he won Flanders last year? He had an amazing move on the Okra and he rolled away from everybody. That was just amazing. That was just amazing to see, and that's going to be the whole thing. Everybody's anticipating this battle royale between uh, Tadej Pogacar and Matthew Vanderpool. It's going to be it's going to be good. This race is going to be good, and I hope that because here's the thing. Just hear me out. Matthew Vanderpool, Tadej Pogacar, watching each other, and guess what happens? Mads Peterson rolls up the street, and both of them are looking at each other. I'm not going to chase you, chase. I'm not going to chase you, chase. And in that moment where they're both looking at each other, Mads Peterson rides up the street and wins Flanders. That's something that can actually really really happen, and it has happened where two of the more popular or some of the more popular riders got caught out because no one wants to do the work for the other or help the other because if someone goes up the street or goes breaks away and then I start chasing, then the person behind me, essentially I'm doing the work to get back the person that's going out on the breakaway. So and then I'm looking at it like I'm not giving you a free ride. I'm not letting you sit on my wheel. So that's how the riders look at it. They feel like if they're on the front, they're giving so and so a free ride. But later in my racing career, when I did race, I sort of put that out on my head. It's like if I want to win, or if I want to be in the top 10, if I want to be in contention, sometimes you got to do the work. And the thing about it, to youngsters and youngsters that are listening, when you are on the front and you are putting it down and you are suffering, even though somebody may be sitting in your wheel, if you know that you're one of the stronger riders and you're suffering, you can guarantee everyone else behind you is suffering. So like you have to learn that and learn everyone else's limits around you. So by paying attention to the people that you race against it, week in and week out. And that's what I think doesn't happen today, where the youngsters don't get a chance to study their competition properly. And especially in the pro ranks, I really, I will say I'm 60-40 against radios in the pro peloton, because it allows for less thinking of the riders themselves. Because when a long time ago, back in the 90s when we raced, you had to keep an account of who, if you went down to the back and somebody took off at the front because you was at the back, doing something, talking or not paying attention, then guess what? It's your fault. And then we used to write down all the names of the people who who was closest on GC, and who, if you were in fourth or third or fifth place and you didn't want to lose your fifth place, or you wanted to fight for the podium, you wrote down such and such, and you're like, okay, I can't let this guy get away. You had to pay attention. And today's riders, they don't have that intuitiveness, that where they don't have to pay attention. And the few riders that do have that are riders like Pogacar. He knows what's going on around him. He doesn't have to wait for his DS or everyone. He's in control of the race. Everyone is watching Poggy. Everyone wants to be where Poggy's at, and they're paying attention. So, and Matthew Vanderpool was another one. I'm not quite sure about Mads Peterson, but he seems like he's on that level as well. But yeah, like today's riders, I feel like they're super strong in the legs, but they're not as strong here as they are in the legs. And that's only because they have the DSs in their ears so much, telling them everything, talking to them about everything, so they don't get a chance to really like source out. They race with the guys in and out, and if someone finishes in front of them or gets a great time, that's all they know about them. They're strong because they finished here or they got a good time. Then they don't. I don't think a lot of riders understand where certain riders are actually strong. What's the weak point? So something I used to pay attention to was when it rained. Most guys didn't want to race in the rain, or when it got cold. Like the heads went down, because yeah. So you just got to pay attention to your riders you're racing against, because I know it's a lot of most of the people who tune into this, they do ride, recreationally competitive, and they go on the group rides and stuff, and yeah, it's all a part of their makeup and their being. So I'm gonna post a video later. So I went on a ride today, the 30 miles today, and it's just in the country. It's just tooting about in the country. So it's going to be essentially a video about nothing. So if it gets 1 to 2 views, that'll be about it. I won't be surprised. But yeah, I'm going to post that up in a little bit. And tomorrow we're going to try to tune into Miguel Indurain's race. I don't know if you know who Miguel Indurain is. He was a former five-time winner of the Tour de France. He was an amazing cyclist, but he got criticized because he focused just on the Tour de France, and he didn't do any of the monuments, and a lot of people didn't like that. But now you have Tadej Pogacar. He's doing the tours, and he's doing the monuments. He's doing everything, so nobody can complain. And yeah, like Jonas is only like really just focusing on the stage races, and you're not gonna see Jonas doing too much of the monuments and stuff, which I think gives Pogacar the edge, because just all round he's just a better, stronger cyclist. And yeah, I just think it makes you tougher, and I just think it makes you tougher at the end of the day. So, and a better cyclist. So I think that's about it. Let me see if I can. It's gonna be too big for that. Yeah, it's gonna be too big. But Biniam Gourmet, like the big news from Binny is that he is going to be doing Paris Roubaix for the first time. So we got to get into that and talk about that. And yeah, we're gonna, because he's done some recons and stuff. So should be a good learning curve for him. It's going to be interesting. I'm anxious to hear what he thinks after he does Roubaix, because it's a whole nother beast. Paris Roubaix is a whole nother beast. Anyway, this has been In the Slooby, Say With Your Legs Media. I do hope you hit hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, just looking forward to Sunday. So just check the Instagram. Tomorrow I'll have some more stuff up tomorrow. You know, obviously bringing you the uh, just the finish line highlights and like a verbal recap of how the race went and stuff. You know how to do when you get out there. There's only one way to do it. Say it with your legs. Don't worry about anything or anybody else. Get out there and say it with your legs. It has been in this Louis. Say it with your legs. And this has been an edition of Cycling Talk with Flanders' favorite. Ready, people? See you later. Everyone who tuned in, I really appreciate you and thank you for tuning in. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also hit a share. Ready? Peace.